All-Stars have come to Sin City for their share of the $300,000 purse. From the MGM Grand, the 6th U.S. Open is next on Speed. With all the glitz, glamour, and pageantry that Las Vegas has to offer, just off the Las Vegas Strip, it's the 6th Maxxis U.S. Open. Hi everybody, I'm Robbie Floyd alongside Davey Coombs here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This is the richest motorcycle race in the world. $300,000 purse, $100,000 goes to the winner of our 250cc class. And Davey, we're covering 125s and 250s, but tell me about the 250s. It's a pretty stacked class.
It's completely stacked. All the best riders in the world are here, but everyone's talking about Chad Reed and Ricky Carmichael. Right there you have the World Supercross champion, the U.S. Supercross champion, and right now, all of the money seems to be going on Chad Reed, but he needs to take a lesson from Ricky Carmichael. Last year, we all thought Ricky was going to win, but the first night he went out, had a big lead, ends up falling over on a hay bale, and just like that, he was out $100,000.
Now, this U.S. Open is known to be the underdogs race. We've seen guys like Jeff Emmett, Damon Huffman take the championship. Who's the next guy? Is it Nick Way?
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of people are talking about Nick Way today. He's riding his new factory Suzuki, looks really comfortable, and I know he's been getting a lot of help up in Michigan from Jeff Stan, but I'll tell you what, Stan's also been working with Ernesto Fonseca. Don't forget about that name. Ernie is Ricky Carmichael's Honda teammate, and he's learned some stuff from Ricky, including the fact that he needs to get himself a trainer. So Ernesto's been training hard, and you can never count out Mike LaRocco, last year's big winner.
Without a doubt, Mike LaRocco is going to be the guy to look for. This is last year's winner. Nobody gave him a shot, and our Cameron Steele was able to talk to him earlier.
Well, guys, the big number 5 means Iron Mike LaRocco, but right now I'm not sure if I'm going to call him Iron Mike. He's rocking a new look. Last year, you're the underdog coming in. This year, 3-1. Disrespect. Does it put more pressure on you? It doesn't look like it. He's wearing a wig, by the way. This just isn't off-season growth.
No, actually, it doesn't really bother me at all. I actually just want to come out there and try and put down some fast times and try to have the luck I had last year. And that's my plan. I just go out there and have some fun.
Your times are good in practice. This isn't a normal Supercross. The track's a little bit tighter, and, you know, people had voted in the past in some magazine they didn't want to wrestle Mike LaRocco. You're one of the tough guys in the sport. Does this track favor you? I mean, if you get a bad start, you got to bang your way through.
Yeah, it's definitely tight and calls for some aggressive riding if need be, but I think it's more importantly is the start, because even if you ride aggressive, you're wasting your time. You got to get out there and make things happen early.
They got Reedy at even money, and they got Ricky just about there. What do you have to say to those guys? What about the people that make the odds?
Well, here's the thing. You know, people can put money on me and make money. They can't do nothing with those guys, so I got to look at it that way, right?
Perfect. Iron Mike ready to go. I'm ready to go. We need to get back to the business. Back up to you guys.
Well, Davey, we were expecting the big names in the 250 class. We have them, but also in the 125 class, a full-blown factory effort here at the MGM Grand with none other than number 3 on a Yamaha, Mike Brown, making his debut.
Yeah, and everyone was watching Mike Brown today. He's a veteran, and he looked really fast riding for his new team. I tell you what, if he's looking for competition, all he has to do is look right across the Yamaha Troy pits, because Brock Sellers also put in some fast laps. And also, don't count out Andrew Short of the Suzuki team. Last time Andy Short was in Las Vegas, he won himself his first Supercross, 125 East-West Challenge. He knows how to win in this town.
The field is set. We have the rookies, we have the veterans, but first, we got to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way they have the track set up here in the MGM Grand, it's going to be whoever the most aggressive riders. You can see a look at it right there as we take a look at the track map. They tried to make this thing look as much like a real Supercross as they could. I think they did a fantastic job. You see 6 lanes there, so it's really crowded when you're out on the main floor. And then you go in the back into the cavernous, the tunnels, and the things they have, kind of a nod to some of the European Supercross races. But it's a very complicated track. When it comes down to it, Robbie, it's going to be the most aggressive guy, the most intense riding, and who knows, maybe even just the most brutal guy. You're going to have to be a bully out there to get to the front of the pack.
What did I say, Rubbins racing? Well, you've got to make it to the final, and to do so in the 125s and 250s, it's either the heat or LCQ. Top 5 transfer from the heat, top 2 from the LCQ. Look at that. $100,000 goes to our winner. And the first time we see a 125 pro class here, the big boys.
Exactly, and this is the first time you've seen those fights on the inside. The new Suzuki 4-strokes. First time in the 125 class going the inside, but look at that. No surprise there. Kelly Smith out front.
Kelly Smith, Brock Hepler, number 60 on the inside, and Andrew Short goes down. One of our favorites has to hurry up. He's going to make it into the final with the heat race.
Well, I tell you, I'm not surprised to see Kelly Smith out front. Last year he rode the same bike, the YZ250F, for a privateer team, and now Yamaha Toy picked him up. And you know what? With or without the factory support, he's the best starter in Supercross, showing it right here.
Steve Boniface mixing it up there right around the number 3 spot. Brock Hepler, the rookie, his first indoor 125cc race. And Davey, let's take a look at that start again, because I think Hepler might have had a little something to do with, you know, our number 32 going down, Andrew Short.
We see Smith sweep in from the outside, right in the middle of the pack here. See number 32, him and Hepler kind of getting hooked a little bit, takes him outside, and down goes Andrew Short.
All right, so the rookie already begging bars, takes out one of the established veterans. Hepler looks good, and look at the 61 now in the fray. Troy Adams, Roosevelt, Florida. Where did he come from? And he says, here's how it's supposed to be done.
No sooner did you say he's a rookie than he gets taken out like a rookie. Right there, Troy Adams came in, and Hepler kind of gave up the inside. You see him have a little bit of trouble starting that 4-stroke.
Reminiscent of Ernesto Fonseca back in the day when the Yamaha first came out in the 125 class.
Exactly. Watch this. There's Hepler on the outside, and you know what? There was nothing he could do there. It's tight out there in the back when they come out in the parking lot. Adams came in like a veteran, dropped him like a rookie, and hey, like I said at the beginning of the show, you're going to have to do some banging to win.
All right, Kelly Smith out in front. He took the win. Boniface, Michael Blows, Brock Hepler, Troy Adams, they will transfer directly into the final. So that's going to be some top names in the LCQ. All right, heat number 2, same format, top 5 transfer, and it's Steve Mertens out in front.
Yeah, another privateer on that 4-stroke Yamaha, and this one remains a privateer. Steve Mertens had some good rides last year, and you can see some of the Yamaha Toy guys coming up behind him. Then, of course, is Brock Sellers and Mike Brown, probably the 2 biggest veterans in 125 Supercross right now.
Chris Gossler, number 35. As we take a look early on, look at these riders get together on the inside. A little bit of a log jam, including your favorite, Mike Brown, number 3, and Josh Hansen, his teammate, number 68. Now, this same section we saw earlier with Hepler, it was another Brock making it by, but look what Brownie does to Little Goose. Hangs him up there to dry.
I thought Goose would have seen that coming, especially with Mike Brown, because as we know, he's no angel.
All right, Steve Mertens on the inside, 54, but he gets past. Brock Sellers now in the lead, top 5, transfer to the final.
Sellers, just a nice inside-out pass. Very clean pass right there. And I don't know that we're going to see a lot of that, but check this out. This is like a textbook pass. He gets the inside this time, puts himself on the outside, lets Mertens get going, and then right here, it's slingshot around the outside. I don't think Steve knew what he was going to do, and that's just a really smart move by a Supercross veteran.
He did it the hard way, passed on the outside. Mertens was trying to hug the inside. Sometimes being a little too cautious is going to hurt you. And yeah, Sellers starting to pull away. Now on the inside, Brownie's going to park you for sure.
That is the difference between the way Sellers will go around you and the way Mike Brown will go around you. And you see Goose almost getting hooked up with the back of Steve Mertens there. And check this out, man. You know,
hello.
Yeah, there's just, he's not denying that. You know, Mike Brown is always going to do that to you. That's his thing. And, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but it works for Brown, and he's been pretty successful with it.
Well, Brock Sellers takes the win. Let's take a look back at Eric Nye on the outside and Josh Hansen on the inside, battling Yamahas. And I'd say Nye came out on the worst end of this deal.
And Hansen's been a teammate of Mike Brown for about 10 minutes, and already he's learning how to ride like him.
Okay, Sellers, Brown, Gosler, Mills, and Wygant will transfer. Cameron Steele with Brock Sellers.
What about the 125 class? I mean, it seemed like it was easy work for you. Is the track working great with a 4-stroke right now?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's on a 4-stroke here, so it just this track suits me. I've been working for it, and I feel ready out there.
I see your shoulder leaning. Go, go, go.
He's riding about the 125 and 250cc class, Davey. The 125 LCQ with Steve Mertens out in front again.
Mertens, another good start. You can see Andrew Short right there in third. Trying inside line there, moves up. He's got to get in the top 2 to qualify. Whoa!
Riders down. It looked like Jonathan Ship on the Kawasaki. Who was the Yamaha?
It was Josh Hansen, and man, he hit the eject button. Check this out. Shimp decides not to jump. Right there, you see Hansen's already fully committed. Ejects off the side of the jump, and I tell you what, he is lucky that didn't happen a little later in the race. Someone would have been coming the other direction right there.
Oh, thank goodness for tough blocks, but man, look at the concorded body going into those rockers.
It looked like he got hit by a linebacker.
All right, Steve Mertens out in front. It's your battle for the lead right now. Look at this 32, though. Andrew Short trying to make a pass on the outside. Can he hold it?
Well, it's a good thing he got by because Greg Schnell is coming up behind him fast. And right there, you have a couple of past Supercross winners in Schnell and Short. They want to get in this main event, but so does Mertens. He's one of the hardest charging privateers. Check this move out. Andrew Short just ducking on the inside of Steve Mertens there. Robbie, if he doesn't duck inside a little earlier, he's going to clip the side of that wall, and that would be it for him. But Short comes through, a little ways to go, and there's the checkered flag.
Short takes the win. Mertens takes second. He's a happy man. Greg Schnell, unfortunately, is going to finish third. Not going to make it tonight's show. Hey, it's always tomorrow. The Rock, Michael Rocco. He'll attempt to qualify for the 250 main when we come back. As open, great racing still ahead, but as always, we have a little freestyle action. Some of the biggest names in freestyle motocross are here putting on a show for the crowd. Mike Jones, that's Mad Mike Jones to everybody else. Trevor from Wherever Vines, Darren Conant, and Dan Pastor. Some big names here checking them out, Davey.
Yeah, you know Ricky's saying to Reed right now, I can't do that. I could do that. I couldn't do that.
Well, that guy, Darren Conant, had the biggest whip. I don't think Ricky Reed or any of them could best that. All right, heat race number 1, Ricky Carmichael out in front. The Subway Racing Honda of Joe Aloff back in the number 2 spot, and the factory Suzuki. Is that Nick Way trying to stick his nose in there?
That's Nick Way, but check out David Billerman, the Cobra. Really looking forward to this race. I know he's been doing a lot of work with David Bailey. He didn't have the kind of summer he wanted, but tell you what, this is a good place to get on track. Here's another look at the hole shot. Aloff with the hole shot, but look at Ricky coming along the inside, hitting those jumps smooth as glass, and he just came off the Motocross Des Nations, but as you can see, Ricky not taking too long to get his Supercross game right back on par.
And David Billerman playing it safe, hugging the outside, just trying to keep it on 2 wheels. It was Ricky Carmichael's race, though. He takes the win. Billerman, Way, Ramsey, and Clark. Everyone else has to ride the LCQ. And Cameron Steele with Ricky Carmichael.
Supercross champ, motocross champ, winner of the individual title at the Motocross Des Nations, and you're the underdog here in Vegas. What's up with that, Ricky?
You know, I didn't have a stellar second part of the season Supercross last year, and I'm sure that's why. But it's a nice place to be, you know. We'll see how everybody can handle the pressure. You know, I'm having fun, man. This whole year has been really, really fun. A lot of traveling, you know, the last couple months, but I'm just glad to be in Vegas, man. I love it here. The fans are awesome this weekend, and I'm going to give it all we can.
Back to 250 qualifying, heat race number 2. Look at that, the single digit. Grant Langston, number 8, fresh off his 125 National Championship.
But right there, he gave up the inside to Ernesto Fonseca, and Ernie goes by. And then right there, Chad Reed does likewise to Mike LaRocco. A little less aggressive, I think, right now than what we saw in the 125 class earlier. But these guys are Supercross veterans. And I tell you what, kind of a big surprise that Langston got that good of a start. He's just moving up to the KTM 250 Supercross program after winning that 125 Outdoor National title, and hasn't had a lot of success on that KTM 250 SX. Right here, you see Reed coming down the inside, takes a look over. Usually you do that over big jumps, not to the whoops.
Well, except for Chad Reed. He is so fast in that whoop section. He proved that he was the fastest in all the whoop sections of the last 6 Supercross races. And look at this, Grant Langston takes the outside line. We've already noticed that's the wrong thing to do if somebody's on your inside.
Oh, for sure, no doubt. But I tell you what, still impressed that Langston's fully committed to moving up the 250 program. But you can see right now, between guys like Fonseca and Chad Reed here, just out motoring down through the whoops. He's got some stuff to learn. He can get it done outdoors, but indoors is going to be a different story for Grant.
All right, Fonzie, Ernesto Fonseca set up at the outside. We've got a block pass in the making. Chad Reed hugs the inside, takes over that number 1 position.
I tell you, that YZ250 is so impressive, and Chad Reed just able to get everything out of it. You saw him just rocket out of the tunnel. And right here, coming up on the inside, Fonseca had a chance to get a wheel in there, but Chad held him off, takes a little look over his shoulder, and some pretty close, clean racing so far.
Very reminiscent of Jeremy McGrath right there, just taking a look over, trying to get that intimidation factor. Look at that, he is behind a full bike and a half, but gets great drive coming down that front straightaway, and he's set up on the inside to push everyone wide. That everyone was Ernesto Fonseca.
Excellent work by the cameraman there, and you're right. Every time I see Chad Reed, I think he looks more and more like Jeremy McGrath.
Taking the win was Chad Reed, Fonseca second, LaRocco Short, and Langston. So Langston puts a KTM into the final.
Well, Chad, you ended up the season with 6 Supercross wins. The last one here in Vegas, it looks like you're ready to keep the freight train rolling.
For sure, Cameron, that's the plan. It's last time we're here, and I had a win. And last U.S. Open this time last year was my first Supercross on a 250, so it's exciting again. You know, we've got new parts for the bike and new rules, and we're just working on everything. Everyone at Yamaha, Thor Parts Unlimited, Scott, everyone's working really, really hard, and we're ready to take off where we left off.
Chad Reed did just that. The last chance qualifier to transfer, and right now Jason Thomas and Josh Demuth are those 2 riders, and Demuth sticks a wheel in, and not enough. Look at that, Davey. He wasn't backing off for 1 gate position.
You see Joe Aloff, Isaiah Johnson, Heath Voss will have to wait to the next show, but Thomas and Demuth going to round out that 250 main.
Well, Tag Entertainment, Supercross feature film, they were doing all the work here. Cameron Steele might be in it, but the star will be Elena Austin, and we'll be seeing that at theaters soon. His coverage of the 125cc main event here at the U.S. Open. The field is set, 15 laps with 12 riders. David, it looks like Brock Seller's your #1 qualifier.
And you see all those Yamaha Troy guys, Kelly Smith and Mike Brown taking those inside lines. There are people on the second row. It's close quarters here, but I tell you what, the Yamaha Troy guys lined up on the inside. That's where I would want to be on a start like this.
Listen to that field. A lot of 4-strokes in there. You don't hear many 2-strokes. Who's going to get the start?
It's a short start, so I guarantee you the guy with the reaction time is going to get it, and then you're going to have to hold it on that tight first turn. And there they go. Look at that. Kelly Smith, like we were talking about earlier, best starter at Supercross, and there's Gosler on the outside on that new Honda.
The Honda CRF 250. And
Brock Sellers and Steve Boniface got tangled up. Sorry, Robbie, that was brutal.
You didn't even have time to spit out who was out in front, and already somebody goes down. 2 riders down, and one of them's your favorite, Brock Sellers.
Yeah, that's, you know what, when you're on a tight track like this, close quarters, that's going to happen. Check it out there. On the inside, you see Sellers, number 18. They just come down on each other, and man, that's it. There's no room, no time. No matter how good your reaction, you're going down if you tangle like that in the air.
Steve Boniface got the worst end of that deal. Doug Bodner taking care of him. The whole Asterisk crew doing a great job. Chris Gosler out in front. The debut, he told me he was riding it for 4 days leading into the day.
I tell you what, I was lucky enough to ride that bike. We're talking about the CRF 250 or a Honda, and man, it's a good bike. And I'm not surprised it only took Gosler 4 days to get used to it, because when I rode it, man, I was on the pace. Well, you know, only for a little bit.
On the whose pace? Whose pace are you talking about right now out in front? Chris Gosler, the 33 of Kelly Smith on that Boost Mobile Yamaha. Looking good. We expected really Smith to be up there. I really haven't seen much consistency out of Gosler up in front, though, this year.
No, not at all. Chris Gosler might be the best 125 Supercross rider never to win a main event. It's because he lacks that consistency, and Honda and the AMSOIL people are hoping that he'll be able to put it together this year. And tell you what, he's off to a good start here in Las Vegas.
See the riders tripling into that corner. You're starting to see the multiple lines developing, especially these right-hand turns where it's slippery. You know, you give different lines like we saw Josh Demuth a while ago. You give multiple lines for passing, and they will take advantage of it.
They sure will. And I tell you what, I'm impressed by the way the track crews approach the track here in the MGM Grand. They're really letting it break down a little bit. You don't see that very often in Supercross. And, oh, Mike Close. Close gets a little close to the side of the track there, and bounced right over to the tough blocks, and a pretty good ride for Michael until that point right there, and he just went right off his line. And again, you don't have a lot of room for mistakes on this track.
We haven't talked much about how deep those whoops are, but next time they come around, just take a little gander. They are very deep, but still Chris Gosler out in front. And another surprise, Tim Wygand, the battle for 6th spot right now, battling out with former 125 national champion Mike Brown. And he's giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, and you saw right there, Brock Sellers made a little mistake in the corner before them. So Brown, a terrible start compared to what the other 2 Yamaha Troy guys did. And I take that back. It was Andrew Short who was right in front of him, messed up in the corner. But Brown's got a long way to go. So does Short. If they're going to catch up to Kelly Smith, Chris Gosler, and Troy Adams, who's a big surprise right now in 3rd.
Yeah, the 61's a blur. He's in the top 3 right now. But here's the race we expected, but not for 4th, 5th, and 6th. We thought both of these guys would be up front, especially after their heat race.
Exactly. You know what? Anything can happen here at the MGM Grand. It's a short track, as we saw at the start of these races. Guys falling everywhere. All you want to do is keep moving forward, try to stay out of trouble, and who knows, you might get hooked up with a rider like we see Short right here with Mike Brown. They hook up together, they might be able to push themselves up. And right in front of them, you saw the 4th place. That's Brock Kepler. They're not that far behind the leaders.
Keeping that pace. It's a 15-lap race, and you know you're going to encounter lap traffic really early, a little less than a 1 minute lap time. If you take a look at our leaderboard, Smith, Adams, second and third battle, and Adams, where in the heck did he come from? The little Triple X rider from Florida. He hasn't really made a name for himself, especially in Supercross.
No, he had some problems last year when he was riding the 125, but whoa, Mike Brown got a little
close him over the bars.
A little close to the exit right there. But yeah, Troy Adams doesn't have the credentials he has sort of outdoors. People know he can go fast outdoors. This race is a good opportunity for him to show him he can do it indoors as well.
Take a look at Mike Brown. Oh, on the inside, it's Hepler able to triple by, but Short takes over the position, goes for the front tire.
I tell you what, they're both on Suzukis, but they are not teammates. Brock Hepler riding the full factory Suzuki, but Andrew Short is a MotorWorldRacing.com rider. And here's how that's set up. Hepler seat bounce from the inside, made over the triple, and then Short cuts across the inside, gives him a little look over. Right there, he could have dropped him if he wanted to, but things aren't that bad there. Now, Robbie, earlier talking about how deep the whoops are. This was when Bloss went off to the side into the tough blocks. Just like that, he ruined a fourth place start. Tough break, but man, this track is full of landmines like that.
There's our leaderboard, and we'll be back with the 125 finish.
You could have seen it coming. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Riding teaches responsibility, builds confidence, and can turn children into champions.
I wanna ride, I wanna ride, I wanna ride. Gonna ride it, gotta ride it. Gonna ride it, gotta ride it. Ride it, gotta ride it. Ride, 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 ride. I wanna ride, I wanna ride, I wanna ride.
The four-stroke CRFs from Honda. Every champion needs a good start.
From Ron Howard and Imagine Television.
Securities and Exchange Commission.
They have both? Comes the fall's best new sitcom.
You love it here? I'm having the time of my life. Hey, T-Bone.
Arrested Development premieres next month on Fox.
We are in the middle of our 125 final here at the U.S. Open, MGM Grand Garden Arena. I'm Robbie Floyd, alongside Davey Coombs, and it's been all Chris Gosler from the start.
He looks fantastic on this bike. Who knew that kid could ride a four-stroke? I mean, everyone knows he can ride a mini bike. He might be the best mini bike rider in the entire world, but Honda doesn't pay him to ride mini bikes. They pay him to ride the big bikes. They pay him to ride Supercross, and they're getting their money's worth right now. Chris Gosler looks really comfortable on that new bike.
And for 4 days on this machine, that's the special part. I think that's the amazing thing. 125 and the 250F. Different characteristics. One has a lot more torque, meaning the four-stroke. The 125s are really tight. You got to stay in the RPM range. And we're hearing a lot of four-strokes here.
I tell you what, the way these bikes have evolved and so quickly, you got to be crazy to ride a two-stroke 125, or you got to be a KTM rider.
Yeah.
They're the one brand that doesn't have one yet, but that'll happen in 2005. But yeah, ride a four-stroke against a 125 in this division. It's the way to go. The bikes have come so far so quickly, and I tell you what, all the naysayers who didn't like four-strokes, didn't like thumpers, they're gone. I mean, you can hear in the class that I think there's 3 two-strokes in this 12-man 125 main.
That rider number 61 in the number 2 position, Troy Adams, and a surprise there, he gets by Kelly Smith, who was up in that number 2 spot. Look at this battle for 3rd and 4th. Now it's Andrew Short wants a little piece of the action. Short's one of the guys on one of those two-strokes. You see him sneaking up on Kelly Smith. And can't say enough about Troy Adams, but we haven't seen him enough. But right now, this is the battle for the last podium spot. Short goes inside, can't make a pass there. I like that seat bounce move right there. Really didn't lose much. He took a chance and didn't really lose much in this right-hand flat turn. It could get down to this final turn. We've seen a lot of people in qualifying trying to sneak on the inside.
Well, Andrew Short certainly knows that line here. We saw him pass Brock Hepburn. There you see the gap they have on second place coming down through the whoops. The last time Short on the gas, but Smith able to hold him off. Now he's going to swing to the outside. Seen some real creative passes here tonight, but Smith holds that line. With Little outside, they almost tangle.
It's going to be a drag race down this front straightaway. You see Smith take the outside line. Only a couple of turns remain for Chris Gosler. We're on the last lap of the 125 final here.
Smith,
there you go. That's the inside move. We knew it was coming. Just win.
But then he didn't make it stick, and here Gosler's going to take the win, but Short had him, but he didn't make it stick. Now here comes to the last turn. He's going to try the inside out, swings around, and Andrew Short's just run out of time.
So congratulations to Chris Gosler, and we'll hear from him when we come back. Is over with here at the U.S. Open. Congratulations to Chris Gosler on that AMSOIL Honda, and he's with Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, his first win ever in American Supercross. Little Goose, Chris Gosler. This has got to be so exciting for you, but a little bittersweet because you haven't won the whole event until you race tomorrow night.
Yeah, I know. I'm just really happy tonight to get out front on my brand new CRF 250. That thing's awesome. I mean, I couldn't have done it without that bike and everybody behind me. I mean, Dan and Hoppo have been working night and day on that thing, and Show and Mike and Kaipo, they went testing with me last week, and we got the suspension perfect. So I like to thank everybody, my mechanic, just the whole team, Ziggy, everybody. Thank you very much.
For people have been saying all last season they were expecting you to win a main event. Is it the four-stroke? Does it adapt to your riding style better? Is it easier for you to ride?
It's really easy. I suggest everybody out there go get a Honda four-stroke, because that would be the difference right there.
Just like the PR department told you to say. Well, Troy Adams, a great finish. He finished in the number 2 spot. And Kelly Smith, he finished 3rd. As you see our final results, and Cameron's with Kelly now.
A new ride, but you continue with the whole shots. Kelly, obviously the whole shot master, but a win in the heat. Everybody thought maybe a win in the main. What happened?
I just got tight. I got a little tight in the heat, but I had a nice lead, so I was feeling a little more comfortable. And I was pushing at the beginning, trying to catch Chris, and I don't know, I just got a little tight, arms pumped up, and that was kind of the end of me. But I don't know, I made sure I held her strong at the end there to save 3rd and keep her up on the podium and just keep in the points. So tomorrow I hope I can come out and win this thing, and maybe the tables will turn and I can get some luck and some points and make it happen.
It's not over till the second night of racing. What about the rubbing with Andrew Short? I mean, that 3rd place position is important because you combine both nights of racing.
Yeah, I knew he was there, and I knew he was going to really be going for it. So, you know, I was holding my own. I had to make sure I kept him in front of him and get those valuable points.
Great job, Kelly. We're looking forward to night 2.
Thanks a lot.
We will see Kelly Smith very soon. The 2004 Supercross Series starts in Anaheim, California. 15 rounds, all being promoted by Clear Channel Motorsports, except for the Daytona round. So mark your calendar for the Supercross near you. Let's go back down to Cameron Steele.
Well, a night of first, a first-time winner, and a first-time podium for Troy Adams, Team Moto XXX. This has got to be exhilarating for you.
I don't know what to think. I'm speechless up here when they interviewed me. I don't know what to say. I've never done this, and it's definitely a good feeling. I want it to happen more and more.
Well, you're definitely excited. The race, let's talk about the track. I mean, I think there's a lot of people surprised that you caught Kelly Smith and passed him.
Yeah, I think one of my strong points were the whoops, and I've trained really hard. My whoops were my downfall last year, and I definitely wanted to work on them. I think I got them down. I think I got them figured out. So, and that's what makes all the race.
You're going to night 2, setting in 2nd place. You are now the hunter, looking for the championship here in Vegas.
That's it. It's good to be in that position.
Great job. Congratulations.
All right, thanks a lot.
Boy, Davey, Troy Adams, all smiles there, huh?
Good things going to happen to that kid in the future.
Not only the big bikes, the little bikes are in action here at the U.S. Open. Each one of these little KTM riders qualified at a Supercross. They won their respective rounds in a good battle here this weekend with the 3 and the 12. Number 12 of Cole Pritchard, the number 3 of Jesse Nelson.
Well, it's not exactly Carmichael versus Reed, but you know what? Someday it will be with these kids. They had 2 shows to show their stuff, and right there you see the checkered flag for number 9, Chase Owen.
Chase Owens out of Charleston, Illinois. He won the Indianapolis event. And you see the final result. It's kind of hard to say they're future stars because they're current stars, Davey Coombs. they get to rub elbows with the big boys here. All the VIPs are in the house, and when we come back, the 250cc final, RC, Chad Reed, Mike LaRocco, the big names are set when we come back. Bobby Floyd along with Davey Coombs, and there's the man himself, James Bubba Stewart. When's he going to be making it to the big show in the 250s, Davey?
I don't know. A lot of talk about that. I'm here not till 2005. As you can see, he has the best seat in the house for this 250 main event here at the MGM Grand.
When you take a look at our top qualifiers, Ricky Carmichael, he has the #1 gate position. We'll see where he picks. Everybody else qualifies just a little bit behind. Finishing was Josh Demas. He took that 12th and final transfer spot.
That's going to put him on the second row, so I wouldn't bet on Josh Demas to get the whole shot, but there you see Carmichael on the inside, Reed's right next to him. Those are the dominant favorites as the gate drops. And it's Billiman.
Billiman on the blue Yamaha 24, Ernesto Fonseca on the factory Honda, 1 and 2, Carmichael on the inside.
I did not expect Billiman to get out of the gate so well. David was kind of there's Carmichael, Musselman, Fonseca, but Billiman was really not showing a lot of speed in practice and qualifying. So first big surprise at the main event comes right off the start.
Well, the Sting of the Cobra has him out in front. Carmichael #4 in second, Fonseca third, #22 in fourth, that's Chad Reed. But surprise here, David Billiman. You talked about how he's been training with David Bailey. Must have been practicing those darts this past week because he got a great hole shot there.
Yeah, David was riding that YZ 450 at some of the nationals. It just didn't have a very good summer, kind of like Chad Reed. But looks like he's glad to be back in Supercross. And speaking of Reed, right there he is in fourth. Before he can get to Carmichael, he's got to get around Carmichael's teammate, Ernesto.
Taking the inside line, to see Ricky Carmichael being very defensive. That time, it looks like they want to go outside to get that momentum and drive, but they just don't want to set themselves up for a block pass.
No, not at all. If you find yourself on the outside here, you blink your eyes, you might find yourself back in 6th place.
All right, here's Chad Reed's favorite part of the track, the whoop section, but Ernesto Fonseca doing well. Right now you have Yamaha with 2 Hondas in the middle. Yamaha gets, and there goes another Honda. Mike LaRocco moves in the 5th spot. He got by Nick Wade on the factory Suzuki.
Pushing them out right there. Now you got all of your veterans. These are the guys you expect to see in the top 5. Although I think that LaRocco would have behooved himself with a much better start if he wants to defend his crown and make $100 grand again.
Typical Mike LaRocco, though, start back, work your way up, but it's hard on these tight tracks, especially when David Billiman's starting to check out. Look at Ernesto, starting to look over. You got to hook that inside.
Yeah, I have a feeling Chad Reed picked up on that, too. He can see his teammate over the corner of his eyes. They go over these jumps, shoots to the inside. That was a nice pass. He could have put him over into the cheat seat, but Reed, very aggressive, but not so aggressive that they mess up and go out into the tough blocks.
You see the multiple lines. You see different ruts. That is a good thing. That means we possibly will see passing a little bit later. Little slippery jumping down to the front straightaway now. Ernesto Fonseca moves to the 4th spot. David Billiman out in front. 2nd spot, Ricky Carmichael. 3rd spot, 22 of Chad Reed, Fonseca, and LaRocco.
Robbie, as you saw that picture, again, you could see Billiman sort of inching away from Carmichael, who in turn was inching away from Reed. So right now, it looks like the guys out front with the clear track are making time, and, you know, you can win or lose a race right here.
Look at the different lines they're taking. When nobody's behind you, they'll take it as wide as they can, get that momentum up. Neat bounce. Oh, Jeff Ward style, kicks the leg out, jump back on the front straightaway. Just look at the different lines coming into this jump section right here. You can go inside, double-double, or you can actually triple.
I tell you what, Robbie, I like that Jeff Ward analogy. Carmichael does look like the former Supercross champion, right down to the #4, but tell you what, he's got his work cut out for him. As we're watching him, remember, Billiman inching away slowly but surely. And I tell you, that is, oh, Carmichael.
Setting up for that outside a little bit too far.
Holy smokes.
Those tough blocks don't give. He could have just as easily got thrown over the handlebar.
I tell you what, that was a world-class save. I can't imagine what was going through his mind right then.
I can't. Hearts Unlimited, Bale, going right through the bottom of the transmission. But now it looks like Reed's starting to close in a little.
Yeah, that might have been what Reed needed to see to close up. That's going to, you know, on a track like this, you make a mistake like that, and that was a big mistake. It's going to take you a while to get back on your game. And as you can see, Reed is really closed up. But, you know, my point was that Billiman is slowly inching away. And, you know, Carmichael going the other direction. And now he's got a Yamaha in front of him and a Yamaha behind him. And right now, he's got to be more worried about that Yamaha behind him.
Right. The reason he hit those tough blocks, he's trying to set up wide, get into that corner, and that next time around, you have to be going, all right, don't do it again. He's just going to pop up in the berm. He's kind of mentally doing himself in right now.
I tell you what, as surprised as I am at Billaman riding out front strong, I'm a little surprised that Carmichael's kind of sloppy right now. I mean, I know Ricky just flew back from Belgium.
Right.
He went over one of the Motocross of the Nations just last weekend, but I expected him to be a little tighter, but you know what?
You've got the guy who beat you the last 6 races in Supercross behind you now, so I can understand what's going through his mind, and he's going to start getting in that defensive mode, which could eventually do him in as well. But exactly, you said he has been practicing for the Motocross of the Nations. He won that event. He beat Devin Everett, the rest of the boys. Chad Reed's been practicing Supercross. He didn't go.
Chad Reed sat that out, Jim Ryan for Team Australia. And right there, a slingshot to the outside. Reed all over Carmichael. I think Ricky is totally unnerved, and there's that move. Wow, does Reed get out of that corner fast.
Ricky did not have the drive, threw himself forward. He knew he was not going to have that forward momentum. He's going to try and get back on the inside here. Can he stand him up? No. Too late diving into the turn, and the crowd's going crazy because they know Reed's on his way up.
If Reed gets Carmichael right here, Ricky could forget about it because he's going to have a hard time getting that pace back up. I tell you, they've had a long time to think about this race, all the way back when they lost. Carmichael lost those last 6 Supercross races. Reed picked up right where he left off in Las Vegas back in May.
Well, Chad Reed trying to check out. He's in second spot. Carmichael's behind him. Everyone chasing David Billaman. Stick with us.
It's time to go KTM. Buy a ready-to-race KTM and take advantage of fantastic KTM card deals. Got a bike to sell? No problem. Enjoy 180 days deferred payments and interest while riding your new SX Motocrosser, EXC Enduros, MXC Off-Roaders, SMC Supermotos. Here's 300 reasons to buy an 03 KTM. Take the time to visit your KTM dealer today.
Hey, Greg White here, host of Two Wheel Tuesday on Speed. Each week, Two Wheel Tuesday is a 1-hour show. Of course, we'll have the greatest news and information from around the world of racing. Catch Two Wheel Tuesday every Tuesday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Now you can stop smoking for free. As a special limited time offer, before Easy Quit goes on sale at your local retailer, you can stop smoking in just 7 days for free. Introducing Easy Quit, the natural stop smoking system that helps you stamp out nicotine cravings. Why pay up to $150 for other products, patches, gum, and expensive prescriptions when you can stop smoking in just 7 days for free with Easy Quit?
With Easy Quit, I quit smoking in 7 days, and I feel great.
I recommend Easy Quit because it's safe, it's effective.
Because Easy Quit is natural, you won't have to worry about side effects like weight gain, nervousness, or insomnia. Do it for your family. And most importantly, do it for yourself. Because now you can quit smoking in just 7 days. So call right now to get the complete Easy Quit Stop Smoking System. A $159 value, absolutely free. We'll also send you a 3-month supply of Easy Lung to help you on your way to a healthier, smoke-free life. The complete Easy Quit system is well over a $200 value, but it's yours absolutely free with this limited time offer. Call now.
With a man on the move, the number 22 factory Yamaha of Chad Reed has moved into second.
Right when we came back, Rob, you can see Ricky make another little unforced error in the corner. And I think Ricky's off his game right now. So if anyone's going to catch Billaman, it's going to be this guy right here, 2003 World Supercross champion Chad Reed. But look at that gap. That was Billaman that just snuck back into the hallway there. And it may only be 4 or 5 seconds, but that's an eternity on track like this.
Good battle for the 4th spot. Now Michael Rocco gets by Ernesto Fonseca. And these are whoops built for Michael Rocco. Have to power through them. Just hang off that rear fender and try and blow through them as fast as you can.
Yeah, that was an excellent ride through that time for Mike. But you know what? Again, that Achilles heel that's always bothered him in Supercross, the bad starts affected him now. He might be going as fast as those Yamahas up front, but we're not
already so far behind, he can't do that.
Exactly. We'll never find out if he can pass him. But yeah, LaRocco moving up in the 4th past Fonseca. Now you got to be thinking he might be able to catch Carmichael here.
Now remember, everyone, this is a two-day event. You see the cross flags. We're halfway through this 250 final. It's a two-day event. You don't want to do anything stupid to take yourself out of the picture for the overall. The next race, combined with this race, will give you that overall big picture. And Grant Langston getting to see the number 8. We talked about how he's the 125 rating national champion.
Yeah, now he's running at 250, but you're right. You can't afford to throw it away on the first night, the first show of the U.S. Open. You know, first, second, or third gives you a shot at the overall, but LaRocco needs to move up, and so does Grant Langston. I think right now Grant's just kind of feeling out that KTM 250SX bike and getting ready for 2004.
Yeah, here's a guy who some people say he backed into that 125 championship. I say he earned it. Yeah, he didn't race that last race, but he was ahead of Ryan Hughes coming into that last race. We see the number 51, the Arena Cross champion, Josh Demas, just behind him. Good job by Demas. It's kind of an Arena Cross style track.
Yeah, so back to Langston real quick. You can't slag off on the guy. He may not have won a national, but it's called a championship series, and what they do is they give the title to whoever has the most points at the end of the series, and that was Grant Langston. And by the way, Ryan Hughes and James Stewart, the two guys that he was fighting for that championship, are both up in the stands watching. We caught James Stewart real briefly.
With gritted teeth, I may add, right now.
Now Nick Wade, looking pretty good on that Suzuki, but wow, Jason Thomas also looking good on the Subway Honda.
Jason used to his ride on that Honda. Nick Way, on the other hand, a new factory Suzuki ride. Both these guys battled out for around that 7th, 8th place position, but a high payout, $300,000 is up for grabs. So these guys are going for a lot of dough back in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, same goes with Josh Demas. And I know that part of the thing Josh is thinking about out there is getting ready to defend his 3rd National Arena Cross Championship. But I'm pretty impressed with how Josh has ridden, especially considering the fact he came from the 2nd row.
Jason Thomas, you hear that 4-stroke thumper trying to set up inside of Nick Way. And Nick's story is he went from privateer to factory to privateer back to factory. Thomas is just looking for that first shot at stardom.
Exactly. This was earlier. This was the pass Chad Reed made on Ernesto Fonseca. That's a sharp pass. And like I said earlier, he could have put him out in a cheap seat, but he didn't. And then this is Carmichael's just near disaster coming off that jump. And you know what? He hasn't been the same since. Reed was able to catch up to him, make a pretty smooth pass. Watch this. Hits the outside, slingshot to the inside, and he's on the gas while Ricky's still trying to negotiate that corner. Leaps right by him.
He was looking for traction where there was none. And David Billiman, he's out in front. But just like any tight Supercross or Arena Cross race, when you come into the lap riders first, it's always a detriment. You're the first guy to come up on these guys, and they don't know whether to let you by or if you're racing with them.
Yeah, and you're lapping some pretty high-end guys who aren't used to be lapped. Like, for instance, he's coming up on Jason Thomas and Nick Way, who we were just talking about. But, man, I just can't say enough about how impressed I am with Billiman. He looks like a totally different guy than the one who finished the Outdoor National Series. I mean, you know, the joke around the pits was that after he and his wife Erica had a baby, they had a 10-pound baby, and David went ahead and put on 10 pounds of his own. But, man, I tell you, he has obviously been in the gym, been out on the practice track. He looks sharp, he looks smooth, and he has not skipped a beat. Chad Reed sneaking up just a little bit, but you know what? David rode so well at the beginning of the race, Robbie. He has time to look back over his shoulder, kind of cruise right now.
Well, he is taking a look over the number 12 of David Billiman out in front. The white flag, the last lap. The last time I saw him was at Millville, and they were having to carry him off due to heat exhaustion. No exhaustion here. He might be getting some air pump going. I'm about to win the U.S. Open night number 1, but Reed really closing in this last lap. The lappers are really causing problems.
Yeah, they are, but you know what? Billiman's able to get by pretty quick. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of time left in the race as far as David's chances go. But, you know, like you said, there's 2 shows in this race. You know, you got to win now and you got to win the next one. So having a second is just as good as a win, although this is really going to help David Billiman's confidence. Just a couple corners to go. He's got Nick Way in between him. What an impressive ride for the Cobra.
No one to catch up to David Billiman. He takes the win. Chad Reed in second, and RC, Ricky Carmichael's going to finish 3rd. He's still in the hunt, as is last year's champion, The Rock. Mike LaRocco takes the number 4 position.
I tell you what, that was a start-to-finish win by David Billiman. He's got to be feeling good about Vegas.
When we come back, we'll hear from our winner here at the U.S. Open. Open on Speed has been brought to you by KTM. See KTM's entire ready-to-race lineup at ktmusa.com. And by Nissan, introducing the new 2004 Nissan Titan full-size truck. Equipped with a standard 305 horsepower, 5.6-liter and powerful V8 engine. On sale December 1st. What a great 250 final here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. David Billiman takes the win, and he's with Cameron Steele.
Well, the Cobra strikes. You know, you never know what's going to happen at the U.S. Open. The underdog seems to prevail, and I don't feel good about calling you the underdog, but the odds didn't have you winning this event tonight. The first main event, you take it down, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels good. You know, yeah, my works really good. I got the shot and tried to put away right away because I knew Ricky and Chad really fast, and you know, I had a good gap, and you know, since Indianapolis, I didn't race the Supercross, so it's a long time, and I'm really happy for my family, for my wife, my daughter, and you know, it's good to win for Yamaha, for everybody, so I'm pretty pumped tonight.
All right, we know you have a new baby. New baby needs diapers, and $100,000 can buy some diapers, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need only diapers, it needs a lot of things, but you know, I'm really happy right now, and you know, I want to thank my wife, and she's supporting me, and you know, all the Team Yamaha, all the guys, Chad, we test together, and there's a good ambiance in the team, you know, and so I'm really happy. I'm not 100%, and I need to work for Anaheim, but you know, that's a good race to warm up.
All right, tomorrow night, you guys got to go again. Chad Reed, second place, your teammate. You know he's good. Ricky Carmichael, obviously, he's always right there. How do you play your game? Do you think about it, or do you just go straight for the win?
No, you know, it's going to be tough. You know, Chad proved like after halfway was a little faster than me. It's always tough to lead, and you know, the guy behind give 100% to catch, and me, I was like kind of making sure I didn't make a mistake. But tomorrow's going to be another day, and Ricky be fast, Chad too, and Ricky was in Belgium last week, so he did not ride Supercross very much. So, you know, it just feels good to put Yamaha on the podium.
Definitely a good race, a surprising race. David Billiman coming out on top, but night two should be no less exciting. You guys got to check that out.
Well, Davey Coombs, you take a look at the leaderboard, kind of surprised that David Billiman stands atop.
I tell you what, look at the first 5 guys: Billiman, Reed, Carmichael, LaRocco, Fonseca. That's the way you had to expect him to finish, but you know what? No one would have expected David Billiman. Honest to goodness, I'd have put him maybe 4th, maybe 5th, just by the way he finished the Outdoor Nationals. But Billiman served notice to these guys. Not only is he ready for the next U.S. Open, he's going to be ready for Supercross 2004.
Well, it is a 2-show event. You see the way that show number 1, it ended. Will he keep it up? David Billiman, he's on top of things right now, but again, he's got to come back again and do it all over. For Cameron Steele and Davey Coombs, I'm Robbie Floyd, and we'll see you at the next stop of the U.S. Open.